Hello guys! In today's video, we're going to present to you the top 10 best ultralight tent available on the market today. We made this list based on our personal preference and sorted it based on their features, prices, quality, durability, and reputation of the manufacturers. Check out the description to find out their prices and more information. We've included the links in the description below. If you are new to our channel, please subscribe and hit the bell icon for the daily video notification. So, without further ado, let's get started. At the first position of our list, we have MSR Hubba Hubba NX. MSR is a branch of Cascade Designs, and if you haven't heard of them, maybe you know their other branches, Thermarest, Platypus, or Sea Line. This company has been dominating the world of great outdoor gear for years, and they make some of the most trusted gear, and the Hubba Hubba is our editor's choice for the best ultralight tent. Most of you may be tempted to go with a one person to save weight, too. But let me warn you that it sucks to turn down backpacking partners because your tent is too small. Instead of spending tons of money keeping two different sized tents in the closet, you may prefer to just use a two-person tent all the time. While that might mean that you're carrying 3.8 pounds of tent, it also means more wiggle room and space to spread out when it's raining outside and you're stuck in the tent. I do love the simplicity of the hub and pole system, which is a foolproof to set up. It makes tent setup in a rush so much more reliable. Plus, the open mesh design means tons of stargazing on good nights with the roll-up rain fly that won't leave you stranded in a burst of rain. Best for a time-tested two-person tent that's about as light as it gets with all these features. Moving on to the next at number 2 with Big Agnes Flat Creek HV Platinum. Big Agnes has always been a popular conventional brand with lightweight offerings. The Flat Creek is a tent that has come a long way, and each iteration just keeps getting better and lighter. You can rest assured this tent is tried and true. Of all the tents on our list, this tent is nearly the lowest in two categories, weight and floor space. While it's not the absolute lightest tent, the price tag, depending on where you order, is relatively reasonable. That said, the floor space is about 33% smaller than most other tents we reviewed here today. There's a pretty simple reason for that, though. This is a single-person tent. Be sure to compare the per-person weight and floor space when comparing single tents to double tents for an accurate comparison. That said, you get a massive vestibule that doubles as a dry entry doorway. The flat front of the tent makes more room in the vestibule for gear and boots. Plus, lightly colored mesh and matching tent look modern and sleek. Overall, the design, weight, color, and features of this tent are distinctly modern and is the best ultralight backpacking tent. Best for solo hikers wanting modern amenities in a lightweight, small package. The number 3 position is held by Nemo Hornet Ultralight Backpacking Tent. Nemo has been around long enough now to have made its way into pop culture in the outdoor world. They've had a few big hits among ultralight hikers, and their gear is almost always attempting to push the front edge of modern tech. Let's be clear, this tent is one of the absolute lightest two-person ultralight tents on the market from a major manufacturer. Or at least that's what Nemo wants us to believe. See the next review. Not to mention all the convenient bells and whistles they managed to pack in at that weight. Hub and pole setup is quick and easy, and you can't possibly mess it up. Plus, the engineered guyouts clip to the poles in such a way that nearly every possible inch of interior room is saved. That said, however, this tent has one of the smallest footprints of any in our lineup. At 28 square feet, it's 2-3 square feet smaller than most of our others. Those 2-3 square feet are precious real estate when you've got two people crammed into a small tent and it's been raining for 9 hours straight. Best for an insanely lightweight tent with all the modern bells and whistles you could want. Next at number 4 we have Kelty Salida Tent. Kelty is another one of those tent makers that has just been around the block a time or two. They've been around making reliable gear for ages, and the Salida is an evolution of that legacy. If you like deep, protective rain flies, you'll love this tent. Comparably, this tent is about as affordable as it gets for the features. Like the Hubba Hubba, you get about 30 feet of floor space at the 1.9 pounds per person mark. That's nothing new. However, the price tag, as of writing, is less than half of what it'll cost you to grab a Hubba Hubba tent. Why? Because the materials and tech on this tent are a bit dated. For instance, it uses a simple frame pole structure that has the traditional loop clips. There's no hub and pole system here. While it might be dated by today's standards, it's up to you to decide what's worth your money. I think the very generous and protective rain fly combined with relatively lightweight, large floor space, and low price make this tent hard to ignore. Best for a great two-person ultralight tent at a price that's pretty hard to ignore. The number 5 position is held by Naturehike Mongar Backpacking Tent. The Naturehike Mongar is a lightweight tent shelter that allows you tons of freedom and flexibility in your choices. While the last handful of tents we've reviewed have been in the high range of price, we're coming back down with this one. You're not going to be as lightweight as some of the pricey tents, but would you rather keep that extra cash in your pocket? This tent is as much as $300 or more cheaper than some Ultra models. I could get a definite weight with the tent in footprint mode, but suffice it to say that it's probably about half the weight of the full tent. I guess 2.7 pounds or so in footprint mode, which would then make this a cheap and reasonable alternative to a tarp for ultralight backpackers in groups of 2. I would say, as we talked about earlier, that if you prioritize budget over sheer weight savings, this is a good tent to start looking at. If you are looking for the best lightweight tent two-person tent that comes in light on the wallet, look no further. The number 6 position is dominated by Naturehike Cloud Up. This is the tent that I have. The brand is based out of China and makes knockoffs of Big Agnes tents. I was wary about buying a Chinese brand tent, but the reviews were overwhelmingly positive. My friend joked that since Big Agnes tents are made in China, you wouldn't be surprised if the same factory was making Naturehike products too. The first shift would brand them with Big Agnes and the second shift with Naturehike. I'm very happy with my purchase. It almost seemed too good to be true. The two-person tent only weighs 3.4 with a footprint. It has a waterproof fly sheet of 4,000 and the floor is also 4,000. The poles were a bit weird at first. They splay out very wide when pitching and it might be difficult in a tight spot. But pitching is fast and easy. I couldn't decide whether to get the 2-person or 3-person Cloud Up tent. Ultimately, I went with the 2-person because I already have a 3-person tent. My daughter and I are tiny and it is still a tight fit. If you have a lot of gear and / where the 2 of you are bigger people, then definitely go with the 3-person option. Moving on to the next at number 7 with Naturehike Taga 2. The Taga 2 is a knockoff of the Tarpton Del Rainbow tent, but at a much cheaper price. It is also easier to set up because it doesn't require clips for the bathtub floor. It has one main door plus a small window that can be opened for venting. Even though this tent is lighter than the Cloud Up 2, I still like the Cloud Up better. Why? Because the Taga 2 has poles which have to go through a sleeve, which makes it a pain for pitching. The tent also doesn't come with a ground sheet for the twin floor, so you'll have to get your own. This adds to the price and weight of the tent. I also read that condensation can be an issue with the Taga 2. Note that the usable floor space of the tent is actually only 41 wide instead of the listed 53. This is very narrow for 2 people, so be prepared to spoon with your camping partner, or just get it as a 1-person tent. The number 8 position is held by Paria Bryce Ultralight Tent. This ultralight tent is a bit pricier than the others, but is loaded with features. Some of the things to like about it are the 40 bathtub floor, quality aluminum poles and stakes, clips for the poles, for easy setup, vent window, 5,000 waterproof rating, and mesh inner pockets. Considering that it's got a higher waterproof rating and tough floor, the weight is very light. Note that the listed weight does not include the stakes or footprint. The actual total weight for the 2-person version of the tent is 406 Us. If you only want the rain fly, footprint and poles, you can get the weight down to 10 Us. Next, at number 9 we have GEERTOP 42 Us Trekking Pole Tent. This is a trekking pole tent, meaning that you need 2 trekking poles to pitch it. This means you don't have to carry tent poles, then the weight is significantly reduces without costing a fortune. The tent is a bit cramped inside, but it has 2 vestibules. You'll be able to keep your gear outside instead of crowding it inside. The floor of the tent is a thick 5,000 nylon, so you can skip on using a ground sheet. It's also really nice that there are 2 windows and doors. Finally, the number 10 position is dominated by Mier Ultralight. Here's another trekking pole tent. It isn't as light as the GEERTOP tent above, especially since the ground sheet isn't included, but it has a better design that allows for more interior room. It also has 2 doors and 2 vestibules, which will make storing gear and getting in / out easier. The tent gets good reviews and is fairly easy to pitch. You'll probably want to buy the footprint for the tent too, which will add an extra 5.3 Us to the total weight of the tent. We upload all types of survival, camping and hunting product review videos every single day. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe and hit the bell icon for the upcoming video notification.